Hey guys, so a lot of people have been asking in the comments of my videos if there's been any updates in the Madeline Soto Stephan Stearns case. Unfortunately, no, there's been no other arrest made. I know a lot of you guys were wanting to see Jen Soto behind bars. She has not been charged with anything, although that does not mean she won't be charged with anything in the future. So last time we really talked about this case was when Stephan Stearns pleaded guilty to all of the SA charges that he was facing and no contest to the unaliving charge. He was ultimately sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and it seems like his time behind bars has been pretty challenging since we last saw him in the courtroom. So back at the end of August, Stephan Stearns actually wrote a note asking for, quote, protection. He says, "I, Stephan Stearns, am in fear for my life and safety due to the nature of my charges and my high-profile status. I have received numerous threats and have good reason to fear. I am therefore requesting protection." Now, a few months back, it was rumored that there was a hit placed on Stephan Stearns' life by GANG members behind bars at the Appalachia Correctional Institution. Now, this rumor actually stemmed from someone on YT during a live stream that they were hosting talking about this case. And get this, Stephan Stearns did not actually request protection until after that YT stream. Now, an investigation into this was immediately opened up. Medical staff said that they saw no visible injuries on Stephan Stearns' body. However, Stephan Stearns said that he feared for his life because, quote, he was made aware that blank placed a hit on him due to his charges. He said that he was advised that if he does not get off the compound, he would be unalived. Now, inmates' phone calls were reviewed because those are obviously recorded, and there was actually no evidence ever suggesting that anyone threatened Stephan Stearns' life or had talked about taking his life or placing a hit on him, meaning that rumor started by someone on YT was not true. Now, do you know who is constantly watching YT videos on Stephan Stearns and Madeline Soto's case? Stephan's parents. So I believe that Stephan Stearns' parents, one or the other, or maybe both, saw a clip or watched the live stream of this person sharing that there was allegedly a hit put on Stephan, and the next time they spoke to Stephan on the phone, they shared that information with him, which led him to file this request for protection. There were no threats made against him to his safety or to his life, however. Now, Stephan Stearns was ultimately transferred out of the Appalachia Correctional Institution, and he was moved to the Wakulla Correctional Institution, which is about 4 hours north of Kissimmee, Florida. And not only did Stephan move, but his parents moved as well. They purchased a home for about $500,000, a little bit closer to where Stephan is now being housed from where they were previously living. And I think that this is a little crazy because Stephan's parents are constantly talking about the fact that they don't have a lot of money to send Stephan, that they don't have a lot of money to purchase things for Stephan. They're constantly talking about how they don't have so much money, but they just purchased a $500,000 home. I mean, you can't be down that bad. So are we dealing with a whole family of liars? Is it in the bloodline, or are they just trying to gain sympathy? I don't know. This brings me to the final topic that I want to touch on today, which is that Stephan Stearns is apparently in contact with someone on YT, and he is allegedly divulging information that shows Jen Soto's involvement and knowledge of all of this. Apparently, Stephan shared with this YT creator that Jen Soto refused to give depositions, and that when he would get out of the shower while he was staying with Jen in the condo, that he would have his towel on, and both Jen and Maddie would look underneath the towel, and Jen would tease Maddie and ask her if she liked what she was seeing or something to that effect, which is something that he shared last year. Authorities were made aware of this and looked into this and were not able to confirm anything that he was saying. The deposition thing is new though. Now, if you refuse a subpoena to give a deposition, you risk being held in contempt of court, which can lead to severe penalties like fines, the payment of the other party's legal fees, or even treating the factual matters in your case as established in the opposing party's favor. It also says that that would be something that would show up in your court records, and I was just looking at the Osceola County Clerk's website, and I see nothing that actually proves that Jen Soto refused to give depositions. We know at the end of the day that Stephan Stearns is a liar, and we know that his parents have also tried to lie for him. They have been doing everything that they possibly can since the very beginning to protect him and to to switch the blame off of him and onto Jen. So I personally take everything that all three of them say with a grain of salt. Do I think that Jen Soto had an idea of what was going on between Stephan and her daughter under her own roof? Of course. But do I trust what Stephan Stearns and his parents are saying when they have been doing everything they can to mitigate what he has done? Absolutely not.